There are times in life when nothing seems to work. The job slips away. The relationship ends. The plan you worked so hard for crumbles. You sit there asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You replay the moment over and over, wondering if you said the wrong thing, made the wrong choice, or if something is simply broken in you. But what if it's not failure at all? What if it's redirection? Life doesn't always guide us with open doors and green lights. Sometimes the clearest guidance shows up when everything shuts down, when no matter how hard you try, nothing moves forward. In that moment, it feels like rejection, but very often, it's life steering you somewhere better. Think about GPS. When you take a wrong turn, it doesn't scream at you or tell you you're a failure. It calmly recalculates and redirects you toward the best route. That's how the universe works too. But instead of roads, it uses energy and resonance. It feels your state. It listens to your deeper desires, and it organizes your path around what you're truly ready to hold. This is why something that once felt right can suddenly fall apart. Maybe you thought that person, that job, or that dream was meant for you, but deep down, something in you started shifting, and the version of you that is growing now no longer fits inside the old life. It has to fall away, not as punishment, but as preparation. Still, it doesn't feel good. Our minds connect endings with failure. When the phone call never comes, when the person drifts away, when effort brings no results, we panic. We question the universe. We question ourselves. But here's the truth. The universe isn't responding to what you say you want. It's responding to the energy you're carrying. And when your energy starts to change, your life begins to reorganize. You might not have decided to leave that job, or end that friendship, or shift out of that pattern, but your frequency already started moving towards something more aligned. The old life couldn't match it anymore, so it fell away. The problem is, no one tells us this. We think falling apart means something is wrong. But in reality, it's often the in-between stage, the crossing point between your old life and your next one. That gap can feel like rejection, but really, it's the space of realignment. Think of it this way. The universe is never cruel. It doesn't punish you. It simply reflects your energy back to you over and over again. And as you grow, what used to match your energy no longer can. So, it dissolves. This is the sacred unraveling. It hurts because loss feels like danger to our nervous system. Your body doesn't always understand growth. It only knows that what was familiar is gone. But loss here is not danger. It's space being cleared. And if you can stay present in the discomfort instead of rushing to fix it, you'll notice something subtle happening. The closed doors stop meaning rejection. They start pointing to resonance. Every no shows you what's out of date for your soul. Every delay shows you how timing is working in your favor. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this making space for? That one question changes everything. Because the moment you ask it, life responds. Not always with instant results, but with little signs, a new conversation, a shift in energy, an unexpected chance. It's like gravity rearranging itself around you. You're not being blocked. You're being redirected. You're not being punished. You're being repositioned. So if things feel heavy right now, pause, breathe. What if life isn't pushing you away, but guiding you home? What if what looks like rejection is actually the universe answering the deeper call of your soul? When we talk about redirection, it's easy to think of it as just a nice idea, a way to make ourselves feel better about loss. But this isn't just a comforting story, it's how reality actually works. At the most basic level, life isn't solid, it isn't fixed. What looks like stone walls and locked doors are really shifting patterns of energy. Physics tells us this. Everything is vibration, movement, and possibility. Even the chair you're sitting on isn't solid. It's a dance of particles moving so fast that they only look solid to your eyes. And here's the wild part. Those particles don't even act like things until they're observed. They exist in waves of probability, meaning they could become one thing or another. Only when observed, only when given attention, do they settle into a definite outcome. What does that mean for you? It means your life is not a set path. It's a living, breathing field of potential that responds to your energy. Not just your words, not just your conscious wishes, but the deeper vibration you carry. Your frequency speaks louder than your words. When you want something, whether it's a relationship, a dream job, healing, or freedom, you begin sending out a signal. That signal is not just the desire itself, it's the mix of your beliefs, fears, doubts, hopes, and emotions, all wrapped together. For example, you might say you want deep love, but if underneath you're terrified of being abandoned, the frequency you send out is mixed. Desire on the surface, fear at the core. You might say you want financial abundance, but if you carry an old story that money always slips away, the field hears both the want and the fear. You might say you're ready for change, but if part of you still clings to comfort, the field gets a signal of hesitation. The universe doesn't punish you for these contradictions. It simply reflects them back. That's why you may see opportunities half form, connections half work, timing almost line up, but then fall apart. It's not rejection, it's feedback. The field doesn't say yes or no. The field isn't a vending machine where you insert affirmations and wait for your order to pop out. It doesn't operate in black and white. It operates through resonance. Resonance means things vibrating together. Think of two tuning forks. If you strike one, the other begins to hum at the same frequency. But if they're not tuned the same, they won't resonate. There will be interference instead, a clash of vibrations. That's exactly what happens when your desire and your frequency don't match. The universe doesn't say no, it simply creates interference, delays, breakdowns, closed doors, not as a verdict, but as an invitation to tune yourself. Why things fall apart. This is why life sometimes feels like it's crumbling right when you've asked for more. You pray for growth, set intentions for abundance, or visualize a new path, and suddenly your old world starts collapsing. That collapse isn't proof that you're failing. It's proof that your frequency is shifting and the old structures can't hold the new energy. Think about it. You ask for love, and suddenly shallow relationships fall away. You ask for purpose, and suddenly the job that drained you becomes unbearable. You ask for freedom, and suddenly the habits that numbed you feel suffocating. It's not rejection, it's release. The field is removing what no longer resonates so that your new frequency can actually stabilize. Pain isn't punishment. The hard part is your nervous system doesn't always understand this process. It feels the loss and interprets it as danger. Anxiety creeps in. You start to doubt everything. But the pain isn't proof you're off path. It's part of the realignment. It's your system letting go of old anchors so it can step into new waters. Yes, it hurts, but pain in this process is like sore muscles after a workout. It's a sign of growth, not a sign that something's wrong. Your energy creates your pattern. At the deepest level, the universe responds to patterns. Think of your energy as a blueprint and the field as the builder. The blueprint isn't just your dreams, it's your beliefs, your emotions, your daily habits of thought. If your blueprint is full of fear, the builder doesn't get angry, it just builds from the materials it's been given. If your blueprint carries trust, clarity, and coherence, the builder works with that. This is why the universe doesn't feel personal when it rejects something you want. It's not judging you, it's simply reflecting your state back to you, exactly as it is. Rejection as feedback. So what do you do when you're facing rejection, delay, or collapse? You don't need to spiral into self-blame. You don't need to force things harder. Instead, you can treat every closed door as feedback. Ask yourself, what am I resonating with right now? Does this rejection show me a belief I'm still carrying? Is there fear mixed into my desire?
What would I need to release in order to align more clearly? This way, rejection becomes not a wall, but a mirror. It shows you the dissonance in your frequency so you can shift it. Nothing real is ever lost. Here's the truth that sets you free. Nothing real is ever lost. Only what's not aligned with you will fall away. When someone leaves, when an opportunity disappears, when a plan collapses, it feels like life is being cruel. But over time, you'll see that what left wasn't meant to hold the weight of who you're becoming. The universe doesn't strip you to punish you. It strips you to prepare you. The practice of quantum trust. Learning to trust this process is what I call quantum trust. It's the knowing that even when life looks like it's falling apart, the field is reorganizing itself around your next level. Quantum trust doesn't mean you never feel grief. It doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you don't mistake those emotions as evidence that you're failing. You let yourself feel them, but you also remind yourself, this is part of the process. This is recalibration. And when you hold that trust, something amazing happens. The fear doesn't vanish overnight, but the story changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this clearing the way for? That one shift in story changes how your body feels, how you show up, and what energy you radiate. You are being reassembled. Think of it like this: the universe is not tearing you down, it's reassembling you. The life that matched your old vibration had to fall apart. The new life that matches your higher vibration is still forming. You're in the in-between, and that in-between is holy. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also the proof that you asked for more, and life heard you. So when rejection comes, when silence echoes, when delay stretches longer than you thought possible, remember this: you are not being blocked, you are being rebuilt. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. Your takeaway: the universe doesn't work in yes or no, it works in resonance. Your frequency, your mix of emotions, beliefs, and desires is what the field responds to. When things collapse, it's often the old vibration leaving so the new one can stabilize. Nothing real is ever lost. Only what's not aligned with you will fall away. Pain isn't proof of failure. It's part of the shift. Every no is feedback. Every delay is a recalibration. If you can trust that, even when things feel shaky, you'll stop seeing rejection as the end. You'll start seeing it as the doorway into the life that actually matches you. So breathe. Let the closed doors close. Let the endings end. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this making space for? That question opens the field. That question invites the next chapter. Comment to anchor this truth: I trust the process. I know I am being realigned.
You've learned that rejection isn't really rejection. It's redirection. You've learned that the universe doesn't operate in black and white yes or no, but in resonance. Now, the question is, how do you actually live in this truth? How do you walk through life in a way that aligns with the field instead of fighting it? Because, let's be real, it's one thing to hear these ideas, to nod along and feel inspired. It's another thing entirely to live them when you're in the middle of the storm, when bills are stacking up, when a person you love walks away, when you've been trying for years and nothing seems to shift. This is where alignment becomes more than a concept. It becomes a practice. Step 1. Awareness of frequency. Everything begins with awareness. You can't shift what you don't see. Most of us are walking through life unaware of the energy we're actually carrying. We say we want love, but we carry fear. We say we want abundance, but we carry doubt. We say we want freedom, but we carry old attachments. Awareness means slowing down enough to notice what's really vibrating inside you. It doesn't mean judging yourself or getting frustrated. It simply means noticing. Ask yourself throughout the day, what frequency am I radiating right now? Am I broadcasting trust or fear? Am I radiating gratitude or lack? Am I carrying openness or control? This self-awareness is the foundation of alignment, because the field is always listening, always mirroring. When you catch yourself in fear, you don't need to panic. You just need to notice it. Awareness alone begins to loosen the grip of old patterns. Step 2. Release and realign. Once you notice the frequency you're carrying, the next step is release. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to be positive all the time. It doesn't mean denying your feelings. It means creating space to let old energy move through instead of locking it inside. Fear, grief, anger, disappointment, these are natural parts of being human. They're not your enemy. But if you hold on to them tightly, they become anchors that weigh down your vibration. Release is the process of letting the energy flow so you can realign with something higher. How do you release? There are many ways. Journaling, breathwork, meditation, movement, even just sitting in silence and allowing yourself to cry. The key is not to suppress or ignore, but to let the energy move. Once it moves, you can realign. You can consciously choose the frequency you want to radiate. Gratitude, trust, openness, love, these aren't just nice emotions. They are energetic states that tune your field. Step 3. Act from alignment. Here's where many people get stuck. They hear about alignment and think it means sitting back, doing nothing, and waiting for the universe to deliver. But alignment isn't about passivity. It's about action from the right place. When you act from fear, your actions are frantic, scattered, desperate. When you act from trust, your actions are steady, inspired, clear. The difference isn't what you do, but the energy behind it. Think about it. 2 people could apply for the same job. One does it from panic, I need this or else I'll fail. The other does it from alignment. I trust my path and this feels like the right next step. Same action, but completely different energy. And the field responds to that energy. So ask yourself before you act, am I doing this from fear or from trust? From lack or from abundance? From control or from openness? When you act from alignment, even small steps ripple out powerfully into the field. Step 4. Trust the timing. This might be the hardest step. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. We want to plant the seed and see the tree tomorrow. But alignment is also about trusting the timing of the field. Think about nature. You can't rush a seed into becoming a tree. You can water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, and trust that growth is happening unseen before it shows above the soil. Your manifestations work the same way. When you're aligned, you may not see results immediately. The field is reorganizing, shifting, preparing. If you lose trust and slip into panic, you uproot the seed before it can grow. But if you hold trust, you'll see in time that the timing was always perfect. Step 5. Reframe setbacks. Even when you practice alignment, life will still throw you curveballs. Relationships will end, opportunities will vanish, plans will collapse. The difference is in how you interpret them. Instead of seeing setbacks as failure, you see them as feedback. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this clearing space for? This shift in perspective is the heart of alignment, because it transforms every closed door into a stepping stone. Step 6. Anchor the new frequency. Living in alignment isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice of tuning your frequency. Just like you wouldn't expect to go to the gym once and stay strong forever, you can't expect one meditation or one moment of trust to carry you through every storm. You anchor the new frequency by practicing it consistently. Gratitude journaling, daily affirmations, visualizations, or simply pausing to breathe and reset your energy. These are not small things. They're ways of keeping your signal clear, of telling the field, this is who I am. This is the vibration I choose. Over time, this practice rewires your nervous system. What once felt like fear becomes calm. What once felt like scarcity becomes trust. What once felt like struggle becomes flow. Why this matters? You might ask, why go through all this? Why practice alignment at all? Because the quality of your frequency determines the quality of your life. When you're aligned, life doesn't just feel easier, it actually becomes easier. You stop fighting against closed doors. You stop chasing what's not meant for you. You save energy. You feel lighter. And most importantly, You start to magnetize the experiences, people, and opportunities that truly resonate with who you are. Living as a co-creator. At the deepest level, alignment is about stepping into your role as a co-creator. You're not just a passenger in life being tossed around by random events. You're participating in the unfolding of reality. Your frequency is your vote for the kind of life you live. Every thought, every feeling, every action is casting that vote. When you choose alignment, you're choosing to co-create with the field in harmony instead of in resistance. This doesn't mean life will be perfect, but it does mean you'll experience life from a higher vantage point. You'll begin to see the perfection in what once looked like chaos. You'll begin to trust the redirection that once felt like rejection. So here's the truth. Alignment isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice. It begins with awareness. It flows into release. It grows through action from trust. It deepens through patience with timing. It strengthens by reframing setbacks. And it stabilizes through daily practice. If you live this way, you won't fear rejection anymore. You'll recognize it as feedback. You'll trust the timing. You'll act from alignment, and you'll begin to see that the universe was never against you. It was always reorganizing itself to match your highest frequency. Take this with you. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are a co-creator, and your frequency is the brush painting the canvas of your life. Comment to lock this in. I live in alignment. I trust my frequency. We've come a long way together. You've seen how rejection isn't really rejection, but redirection. You've learned how the universe doesn't say yes or no, but instead mirrors resonance. You've explored how alignment isn't passive waiting, but an active daily practice of tuning your frequency. Now it's time for the final piece, stepping fully into the new reality that's waiting for you. Because this isn't just about concepts, it's about transformation, about walking as a different version of yourself. The in-between space. Right now, you may feel like you're caught between two worlds. The old reality with its patterns and attachments is fading. The new reality, with its higher resonance, hasn't fully formed yet. This space in between can feel confusing, even painful. It's the place where the old doors are closed, but the new ones haven't opened. Most people panic here. They try to run back to what they know, even if it doesn't serve them anymore. Or they try to force the new too quickly, out of fear of the unknown. But the in-between space is sacred. It's where the real shift happens. Think of it like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. When the caterpillar enters the cocoon, it doesn't instantly grow wings. First, it dissolves. It melts into something unrecognizable before reorganizing into something new. That in-between stage looks like destruction, but it's actually transformation. That's exactly what's happening in your life. The in-between is not a void, it's the womb of the new. Becoming a match for the new. Here's the truth. The new reality you desire already exists in the field. Every possibility, every timeline, every version of you is already there. The question isn't whether it exists. The question is whether you're resonating with it. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are a match for. Wanting alone doesn't change your reality. Alignment does. This means stepping into the new reality isn't about chasing something outside yourself. It's about becoming the version of you who already lives in that reality. Ask yourself, if I were already living the life I desire, how would I feel? How would I carry myself? How would I speak, act, and choose? When you embody that now, before you see it in the physical, You collapse the gap between where you are and where you're going. You tune into the frequency of the new, and the field mirrors it back. Identity shift. This is where the real magic happens, the shift of identity. Most people stay stuck because they keep trying to create new results while holding on to their old identity. They want abundance while still identifying as someone who struggles. They want love while still identifying as someone who's unworthy. They want freedom while still identifying as someone trapped. The field doesn't respond to what you wish for. It responds to who you believe you are. So the question becomes, who am I choosing to be now? Not tomorrow, not when the evidence shows up. Now. This is a choice you make moment by moment. Each time you choose trust over fear, openness over control, gratitude over lack, you are shifting your identity. You are stepping into the version of yourself who already lives in the new reality. Coherence between heart and mind. To anchor this identity, key is coherence. When your heart says one thing and your mind says another, your frequency is scattered. But when your heart and mind align, your signal becomes powerful and clear. Heart coherence is about feeling the emotions of your desired reality now, not waiting for something external to trigger them, but generating them from within. Gratitude, love, joy, trust. When you cultivate these emotions in your heart and let your mind focus on them, your whole being resonates differently. This isn't fake positivity. It's training your nervous system to stabilize the frequency of your future reality until it becomes your present reality. Walking by vision, not by sight. One of the greatest challenges is to stop living only by what your senses show you. Sight will show you the bills, the empty spaces, the delays. Vision shows you what's forming in the field. Walking by vision means holding the frequency of the unseen, even when the evidence hasn't arrived yet. It means trusting that just because you don't see it, doesn't mean it isn't real. Remember, everything physical was once unseen. The house you live in, the technology you're using right now, the relationships in your life, they were all invisible before they took form. The same is true for your next chapter. Surrender and flow. Here's another paradox of alignment. Stepping into the new reality requires surrender. Not surrender as in giving up, but surrender as in releasing control. Control is rooted in fear. It's the belief that if you don't force everything, it won't happen. But alignment flows when you surrender, when you trust the timing, when you allow the field to rearrange things in ways your mind could never plan. Surrender is saying, I am open, I am available, I trust the intelligence of the field to guide me. When you live this way, doors open that you didn't even know existed. Connections form that you couldn't have orchestrated. Timing lines up with precision you couldn't have planned. Daily practice of the new. So how do you actually anchor this new way of living? Through practice. Not once, not occasionally, but daily. Start each day by tuning into your desired reality. Feel it in your body. Imagine it as already here. Speak and act as the version of yourself who lives it. And throughout the day, keep checking in. Am I aligned with trust or with fear? Am I embodying the new or clinging to the old? Small, consistent shifts compound into massive transformation. The ripple effect. When you live this way, it doesn't just change your life. It ripples out into the lives of others. Your frequency influences everyone you encounter. Your alignment becomes permission for others to align.
Your trust becomes a lighthouse for those still lost in fear. The field doesn't just respond to you individually, it responds to the collective. And each time you align, you contribute to the collective shift. Final truth. So here's the final truth I want you to carry. You are not waiting for your new reality. You are creating it right now with your frequency, your choices, your identity. Rejection was never rejection, it was redirection. Delays were never punishment, they were preparation. The universe has never been against you. It has always been reorganizing itself to match the vibration you carry. And now you know how to carry that vibration with awareness, with trust, with practice. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a co-creator of reality. The field isn't outside of you. You are part of it. You are shaping it with every thought, every feeling, every choice. So step boldly into the new. Embody the version of yourself who already lives there. Trust the timing. Surrender the control. Anchor the frequency daily. And watch as the reality you once longed for becomes the reality you live in. Comment to lock this in. I am aligned. I am creating my new reality now.